Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday and it's 2 o'clock. So that means it's time for Top 5 Tuesday. I'm your host from Crate Insider. I'm Kate Dillon. In fact, let me put my name up on the screen here. We got Crate Insider up there, and there I am. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. Obviously, you can follow Crate Insider as well. We're just at Crate Insider over on Instagram. But every week, in case you're new here, I do a go live on Facebook and YouTube at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time on Tuesdays. And we'd love to kick off the show with what we're giving away. I do a couple of live giveaways every week. And this week, my first thing is I have there's my bell for it's time to start the show. But I have a shirt here from Racelogic Chassis School. And this one happens to be this is a 2X. This is a 2X t-shirt, and you can see it's a Racelogic Chassis School with a couple of different kind of cars on the back here. This year, so I've worked with Racelogic for the last several years, but just in 2020, we started with filming the actual live training and then offering it as an online class as well. So I actually wanted to, if you're not familiar with the website, I'd love to show it to you really quick here. And so here's Racelogic. It's Racelogic.VIP. And if you want to see the courses that are available, we have the IMCA and Metric Street Stock bundle. This is a bundle where you get basically everything we've done with the street stocks. This year we had the 2021 Crate Late Model Chassis School. We had the street stock, the Metric Street Stock, and the IMCA stock car class. And then going back to 2020, this one was a little more chassis focused, which was the Metric Street Stocks and we did them back to back. So, just for an example, I know a lot of my viewers are Crate Late models. And if we take a look at this, you can buy it here. This shows you the course curriculum, and it's all laid out for you. So you've got the welcome, and then we have front suspension. We go into driveline, shocks, crate engine tips. We do some follow-up Q&A. There are some fantastic questions here, and we've got them all broken down. So you see like loosening and tightening a race car, 4-wheel versus 3-wheel brakes, right rear shear, wide right front, weighted axle tubes, all of those questions, and going in depth with the instructors that are part of the class. And speaking of, there's Dave Hammond from Hammond Motorsports, and there's me. I just talk about a little bit about fire suppression. And Ben Baker, we have Robbie Bilbrey and Ben Baker is freaking phenomenal. He talks about cooling and brakes. He's so knowledgeable. He's worked with so many different kinds of cars before. We have Robbie Bilbrey from he's RPI. He is suspension, amazing on shocks. Chip Vineyard from CVR Race Cars. Matt Henderson, of course, a phenomenal racer. And we also have Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines. Brian Littleton is really the guy that pulls all of this together, and he's been doing it for over 20 years just because of his love of racing. And so I'm just going to strongly recommend the Racelogic Chassis School. Again, it's racelogic.vip. And it's not just like I'm trying to promote, but I want as many people to know about this as possible, because I know that in what I do, and I sell race car parts, and I'm constantly trying to learn, new things all the time so that I can help my customers. I do this 8, 10, 12 hours a day, every day of the working week, try to take weekends off now. But, whereas a lot of my customers, a lot of racers, you got full-time jobs, and you kind of want the short version. You want the quick way, and rather than the struggle of having to make the calls and ask all the questions and all of that, you want to get there the fastest way possible. And this is the way to do it. I use this information that I learned in this chassis school. I use it on a daily basis with giving recommendations. And I could watch this so many times more again. And I know that I would learn something new all the time. And the feedback has just really been phenomenal. But I really, really want you just to be aware that it's out there, and just to show you how easy it is. And you click the button to buy now, and then you'll put in your email address and credit card information and your name, and you get to have instant access right then. And as you saw, all the videos are broken down into just bite-sized pieces, so you're not stuck with Oh, great. I've got like a 16-hour video to watch here, or 12 hours, or whatever it happens to end up being. You can skip around, you fast forward, rewind, and watch it as many times as you want. And you'll have it for the lifetime of the program. I mean, obviously at some point we'll probably say, hey, wow, we're going to take down the 2020 stuff because, you know, we're well beyond that, you know, 2025 or something. It's hard to say, but really has been a great really a great addition. These used to be just live. You had to be there to get it, and you take your notes, and hopefully you could remember everything. But now you can fast forward, rewind, all that stuff. So anybody that's here, if you've been a part of the Racelogic Chassis School, I would love for you to drop in a comment, you know, tell us what you think. And I know that we've had some great feedback. Oh, and also I didn't bring this up, but let me go over here to YouTube really quick here. And we've also helped out. Racelogic now has a YouTube channel as well. You can go over there and you can check out some of the videos that these aren't really as informational as far as like learning, you know, just the straight up learning like we get in the actual class, but there's some interviews. Brian goes weekly on an goes live almost on a weekly basis, but there's some interviews with some instructors and with some students who've been part of the class, and you can check that out. So, you know, definitely just type in Racelogic over on YouTube and be a subscriber. We need some subscribers for this channel for sure. We've just started it for, you know, helping out Racelogic, and yeah, so go over there and subscribe to the Racelogic Chassis School channel. You know, I guess while we're talking about YouTube, then I want to bring something up too. Somebody was even asking me like if I'm even promoting this, but I have another channel. It's called Racing Rewind, and over on this channel, then these are races from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and early 2000s. And what I do is, too bad I don't have another camera in here right now, but there's a VCR sitting on my desk, and it's hooked up to my computer. And I am taking old videotapes, like literal VHS tapes, and I'm digitizing them and then putting them up on YouTube. And you can see we've got some races from Iowa, a lot from California, and I would love to have more videos. So if you happen to have a treasure trove of VHS tapes of races from 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, if you have some, or you know of somebody that has some, all it entails is, you know, you send me the videos, I digitize them. Obviously, I handle them with extreme care, but they are old. You know, everything's going to be 20, 30, 40 years old. I do the best I can. I haven't broken one yet. I, you know, obviously can't make a guarantee, but I do my best, and just digitize them and just have like a little title on here. You can see the speedway and what it is. And then I return those videotapes, and I actually do attribute it to the people's different collections as well. So they get that, you know, that credit as well. So you can see like our playlists, we have, some different playlists. Currently, we're working on the Jeff and Pam Silva collection from California. I've also gotten some from Jerry Mackey in Iowa. He was an announcer at Farley Speedway, so it was really cool to be able to have access to his collection. And this all started from Steve Hendren and having a pile of videotapes that he wanted to show, and we just had this idea. It was even a pre-COVID idea, so it was an idea that he had, but then I had a little bit of time over the pandemic to be able to start digitizing, and now I've kind of got it down to a little bit of a science, so we can get those out. So if you or anybody you know, you can contact me individually, and we can make those arrangements. Again, you send them to me, I digitize them, and then I return them all to you. And I would be very, very grateful. I think there are so many. The reason why I'm doing this is because there are just so many moments. I'm kind of lost my mouse here for a second here. There are just so many moments. I don't know why I'm blue now, but hopefully that I don't know why I'm blue, but anyway, there are those moments that we grew up with and seeing at the racetrack, and just to be able to relive those. I'm still looking for, if anybody happens to have any videos with Dick Schiltz racing, that's my dad. I would love to see some videos with my dad racing. That would be super, super cool. I have no idea why I'm blue. That is the weirdest thing right now, but I don't know. We're going to do what we can. Maybe if I cover up the camera, maybe it'll readjust. Are you going to readjust? No, apparently we're still blue. But anyway, we can move on. I'm going to say hi to some folks. And all you need to do, back to Racelogic, all you need to do to win the shirt is to drop in a comment. And at the end of this video, then we are going to do a random number drawing for the winner of that shirt. And then if you also know what my sign said last week, drop that in as a comment. And I have a t-shirt right here, from Hendron Racing Engines. This one happens to be a large. So a large t-shirt from Hendron Racing Engines, and we're giving that away. So I think their logo is so cool with the two pistons that look like skulls. Kind of cool stuff. All right, I'm going to say hi to some folks, and then we'll and if you have any questions, also feel free to drop them into the comments. I am always happy to answer any questions that you have or tell you that I don't know. I've had a couple of those today. So, more work for me. So I see Tom is here, and Danny and Jim and Johnny and Mike and John and Jennifer. And let's see, we got Charles and Jerry. And JJ, actually, Shane and Brad and Rosa, a lot of winners, a lot of past winners. I'm recognizing a lot of names here today. And I want to thank you. I mean, I know it's 2:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. I want to thank you so much for being here. And for everybody who's watching the replay, later on, I appreciate you watching as well. And I see Cody is here, and Bobby and Dream and Mike, another Mike, and Dustin and Lily. So many people here today. And I want to just thank you so much. Again, drop in those questions, any kind of questions that you have, happy to answer those. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into our top 5 products of the week. Oh, and I just looked at the screen. I'm not blue anymore, so that makes me happy. I don't know what was going on there. That was kind of weird. All righty. So here we are. In our number 5 spot today is from our friends at KSE Racing Products. And I love their products. They've like so many companies, it's been really difficult to get product this year. And I'm not throwing off on them. I mean, part of that is just me not ordering enough. And I just got another shipment of these. I'm super happy because, just look at this. This is beautiful. It's hard to tell sometimes, the products that I sell, if they are, parts, or if they're like really works of art, because that is just a thing of beauty right there. And what this is a tandem pump. So you've got your fuel pump and your power steering all wrapped into one to run off of the back of your engine there. And then it comes with a bypass regulator. You're going to want to run a bypass system with this, and it's got all the little brackets and things with it. So, and obviously you can see the belt there as well. So just to show that one more time. And this whole system, I love to show this so you can see everything that comes with it. It runs $11.75, and beautiful piece of equipment. And that's in our number 5 spot this week. Next up, in our number 4 spot, is from MPI. And again, we're going to open up this box. It's like every week is like an unboxing video. And I love unboxing videos. Really do. Really love unboxing videos. Let me crack this open here. And what we have in the box, this is our MPI. This is the DM215. So it's a 15-inch steering wheel. And it happens to be dished, so you can see that it's dished, and rather than being flat, we have a flat version as well. One thing I really like about this one, I know that you can put orange tape on, a steering wheel, but it really does help for being able to line up your steering wheel, and see where you're at, and just a great form of reference. Honestly, it just looks cool too. So I'm going to say that. And it comes with the steering wheel, and you've got this piece as well that can go right on here. There we go. I forget how this goes. Oh yeah, that really snaps in there. And so I'm not going to mess anything up there, but this steering wheel runs $249. So we've got this again in stock. In stock is the key thing for 2021. Can you get it? It's one thing to list it. It's another thing. Can you get it for sure? Let's see. Okay. I was just seeing if there's any questions. Next up in the number 3 spot is from our friends at ProCam. So love my ProCam fuel pumps. And this one, I sell two different versions of the ProCam fuel pump. They look exactly the same, but we're going to go ahead and open this up, kind of unbox this as well. And so this one here, this one happens to be the PRC 9351. So the two pumps that we sell, one of them is a 7.5 PSI and the other is a 15 PSI. So if you're going to run a bypass regulator system where you just saw the bypass regulator from KSE, if you're going to run a bypass regulator, that's going to send the additional fuel, any of your excess fuel, it's going to send it back to your gas tank. And I could talk about that a little bit. I'll do that in another video about bypass regulators. But when you are running a system like that, where you're pushing that much fuel, you need a higher PSI. And that's where you're going to go with the 15 PSI pump. If you're not going to go that route and you're just going to go with like a deadhead regulator, you're going to go with a 7.5 PSI, and that's going to be the PRC, the ProCam, the 9351. This is the 7.5 PSI. So I sell about half and half. I mean, it's about half and half on those. And this fuel pump runs 193.26. And again, I mean, honestly, everything here today is going to be items that we are in stock because I love having things in stock. All right, next up in the number 2 spot, I did not bring it into my office today, but I will show it to you. So it is right here. It is our Burrow Max pit bike, and this one happens to be the 350. So there's the 350 and the 750. We are out of the 750s right now, but we do have the 350s. And this is just a great tool for just being able to zip around. I love this bike so much that I have one. It's actually right downstairs. I'm in a 2-story, so it's downstairs. And I could drag it up here. It's not that heavy. I don't know if I've got the weight on here or not. It's probably like 35 pounds or something, maybe a little bit more. But it's I was just seeing if it had, the weight. Oh, weight is apparently 50 pounds, but it's not that bad. It's pretty easy to get around in. And I love that. There I am on my pit bike. I love my pit bike. So I think, it's just one of those things, like if you've got one, you think everybody should have one. And I do love my pit bike. And this is the Chevy. I say Chevy 350. It's the 350. It's not a Chevy. It's a little lithium battery. So what I really, really like about it is there are no issues about fuel or oil. Like I don't have to worry about it dumping over in my car and getting gas or oil all over my car. If you've ever had the experience like I have of, like, let's say taking a carburetor that runs CHP and leaving it in your car over the weekend in a hot summer weekend. Yeah, I did that once, so I'm pretty sensitive about having things with fuel in them in my vehicle. And with this, I just get home and I can plug it into the wall. It's a lithium battery, so it's so clean and easy to use. And it's got some decent power too. I mean, it's, you wouldn't want to go up too steep of hills. It depends on what you weigh, all of that. But the Chevy, I keep saying Chevy, but the TT350 is the one we have in stock. It runs $699.95. And then I believe the freight on that, I think we're flat rating that now because they're really tough to ship sometimes. And, oh, nope, I guess we just calculate it automatically. I don't know if we have any reviews on that or not. So I should probably leave my own review. Oh, we do have somebody on there. Great quality and fast shipping. So yeah, 5-star on that one. I probably need to leave a review myself because I love this product myself. It's kind of fun, being a person who sells race car parts and not having a race car, that I get a chance to have some of these little fun items on the website as well. So before we jump into the top spot this week, I'm going to see if there are any other questions or anything. I see lots of thumbs up. A lot of folks know what my sign said last week. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into our top spot this week. And that is our Walker 4-inch filter. Now, we do sell both the 3-inch and the 4-inch. I will say the 4-inch is more popular. And when we talk about when I say 4-inch, what I'm really referring to is that 4 inches, it refers to the element that's right here, just the air filter element. And you can see this one's still in plastic. And then when we look at the overall height, it ends up being about 5 inches tall because we've got about a 1/2 inch of urethane on either side. And so it really ends up about 5 inches tall. But we like the squishiness of it because it really creates a beautiful, nice, tight seal that you can use with your air filter base and your lid. And of course, you can use any air filter base and lid. I've kind of stopped bringing the flat air filter base and lid onto the show as much, because otherwise it really is one of our top selling products. It'd probably be here every week. So I like to just kind of shake things up a little bit. But it works really great with any of your 14-inch. Obviously, it's bigger than that because the 14-inch is going to refer to the urethane, and then it's going to stick out from there. So yeah, the air filter, Walker air filter. This is an oiled filter. It comes pre-oiled. So the moment you take this out of the plastic, you can drop it right onto your car. No other prep needed. You don't have to clean it or put oil on it. It's ready to go. And then of course it is cleanable and washable. A lot of times we do recommend having 2 of these. This way, when you can clean one and have it drying from week to week, and and then you just alternate them and rotate them out between cleaning. And then of course, once it's dry is when you would oil it, and you don't want to over oil these filters. That's just going to hurt the performance. So just letting you know, we do have a video on that too. So I should probably put some links into some of these videos. We like to do lots of videos on things. So our Walker 4-inch filter, and this runs $99 right there. So $99 on the filter in our top spot. I'm going to peek on over here to see who our winners are. I've got awesome assistant Tori helping out with that. So for the first item, for the Racelogic chassis school t-shirt, this is going to Rowdy Briggs. So Rowdy, if you would, please send Crate Insider a private message on Facebook with your address, and we'll get that sent out to you. And then for the person who knew my sign last week, that is you'll get the Hendren Racing Engine shirt, and that's going to Mike Harrell. So Mike, if you would, please send Crate Insider a private message with your address, and we will get that sent out to you. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you so much for being part of the show. If you joined later on and didn't see the very beginning, if you happen to have any VHS tapes of races from the past that you'd like to see digitized and put up on YouTube for posterity, contact me and let's get together on that, because I'd really love to bring a wider selection of footage out there, to the racing world. I really would. So, and if nothing else, if you don't have them, hit the subscribe button on both those channels, on Racing Rewind and Racelogic, and it would certainly appreciate it. So thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being part of the show. And I will look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 2 o'clock. And I hope that you have a fantastic week.